Hi friends, good evening and welcome to another exciting Moonshot conversations with Leena and Layla El Khadri. Leena has concluded an interview with Layla that you will be able to access on our Cocreating platform shortly. And please remember friends that a combined journal will be available for last week and this week together. And I encourage you to complete the conscious selection of values exercise that is available in the journal. Any questions our Cocreating has for Layla, please do ask that now in the comment section below, as she will be unavailable to respond on the Facebook after the session is over.
So Layla, thank you so much for agreeing to be with us today. It's amazing just how I could meet someone for 1 hour online and feel such a deep connection. Honestly, the love I have for you in my heart is just incredibly amazing. I hope you can feel it all those millions of miles away. And thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a true honor and a gift to be here.
So friends, today's title, Embodied Leadership. What does it mean to be an embodied leader, Layla?
Wow. To have the opportunity to respond this question in front of all of you, and I can feel all of you, thousands upon thousands out there, is such a gift, because for me, what it means to be an embodied leader is to take full responsibility over our ability to create our reality. Let me repeat that. A fully embodied leader is a human being that has agreed to take full responsibility of our individual ability to create reality. And in today's world, with what's going on and with what's coming upon us, it's a moment for all of us to fully step, fully embody, fully enter in that archetype of the leader, so that we can first and foremost lead our bodies, our health, our minds and hearts, our families, our communities, and our nations into a new normal that honors the human spirit and respects the earth.
Wow, Layla, I just love what you said. Full responsibility to create our own reality. I hope everyone understands that, that our inner world creates our outer world, and we have to take complete responsibility of that.
So, Layla, for parents to be embodied leaders for their children, what do they need to know and do?
Well, the first thing that they need to know is who they are. If you haven't yet, I invite you to go on a journey of self-discovery, self-realization, deep inquiry of who you are and why are you in this planet. And just by doing that, your kids are going to watch you. You're going to walk different. You're going to make decisions different. You're going to reclaim and regain that power over your own everyday life, over what you create, from what you say every morning to how you wash the dishes, how you conduct yourself in society, how you love, how you care. When we say embodiment, what we mean is you take your soul, you take your mind, and you embody them in your physical experience. And so from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, you walk as a leader. And the little ones, they're walking behind you, just imitating how you do it.
So in that process of us embodying leadership and, sort of leading from the front, do our children learn to lead as well?
Yes. When my kid sees how I make decisions, he or she is learning how to make decisions. This planet is a free will planet. It's full of decision-making process every single time. From the unconscious decisions that my body is making to keep on breathing, to the conscious decisions of being here or there or doing this thing or the other. It's a constant process of making decisions. And when we take them and make them by ourselves, rather than let them in the hands of politicians, doctors, authorities, when we regain that awareness of our own power, our little ones are watching, and they will do that in their games. You can see it happening. It's brilliant.
So Layla, just before we came online, you said to me you've got a special gift for the Cocreating, our parents. Could you just tell them what this special gift is, please, so they can access it?
yes, please come over to my website. We have 2 amazing gifts for you. The first one is a free ebook called Master Your Emotion, 3 Keys to Walking Grace, because that decision-making process, that embodiment of the leadership gets compromised when our emotions come in place and we are angry and we're frustrated and we don't remember that grace. This book is going to guide you. It's a complete gift. And then for the mamas in the house, we have a program called Radiance that is going to give you very practical and very powerful tools and techniques to access that feminine power and become that leader that all of you actually are already. My website, LaylaElKhadri.com.
Fantastic, Layla. That is so generous and so nice of you. You so beautifully spoke about the planet, Layla. So what may the planet be calling all souls to be more of and less of?
More present. I would call everyone to be more present. More present can start by a few times a day dropping into your breath and just remembering and being conscious and aware that you are alive. You are alive in this planet. That, let's get a bit nerdy here for a minute, that has a direct effect on the neurochemistry of your brain. The moment you become present and aware, immediately you become graceful and grateful because, wow, here I am breathing and alive. Your brain starts producing dopamine, so you're inspired. Serotonin, so you're happy. Oxytocin, so you feel a sense of belonging. So just by being present, dropping into your breath a few times a day, put a bracelet. I have this ring to remember that. Put a bracelet, put an alarm on your clock. You have all of these reminders a day, right? Remind yourself to be present. And in that same, I will say, AR, the one thing to stop doing right now is to give away our presence and our attention to the media, to the internet, to the Instagram, to the dramas, to the fear. Your awareness is your most valuable asset. Ladies and gentlemen, our presence and our awareness is our most valuable asset. Be very careful who and what are you giving it to.
So Layla, what could we do with our children as we become present? Is there something practical we could do with our kids so it becomes kind of a habit for them to become present?
Yes, yes. And I think that the best thing that we can do when we become present with them is listening. Entering a space of deep listening. Parents often have so much to give to kids, education, advices, guidance, care, that we don't allow the feedback loop of that. For us to learn a lot that our kids are coming to teach us, but also to understand where and how can we guide these little ones. We have been talking about helping parents become kids mentors rather than kids managers. How can I take my kid's best gift? My kid is a 2.0 version of myself. Let us be clear with that. They are better versions of ourselves. So I need to be able to listen to what this kid is coming with. So we, the family, the community, can make sure that those kids are properly trained and properly cultivated and watered and cared for so that they can go farther than we went. Because we want them to go farther. We want them to do better than we did. We need to listen to them. So when we drop into presence, listen, not only what they speak, but also how they move, what their emotions are in their little faces. What are they wanting? What are they fearing? There's so much information in them.
Wow, fantastic, Layla. That's so nice. Friends, you all are putting some good comments, but I request you to ask questions to Layla. She would not be available post the session to answer your questions. So you can ask the questions right away and she will be good enough to answer them. And let's all enjoy the interaction all together, including the audience participating in the asking of questions. Layla, I would love to ask you to elaborate on what do you feel this time is communicating to us? If you can answer that in great detail.
Yes. Friends, look out into the world and you will see a world that has pressed pause dramatically. So that some of us cannot leave our homes. This quarantine, this lockdown, this is stopping the whole world on our tracks. And I'm going to, with a hand on my heart, and a member of my family right now in intensive care because of COVID. So knowing what this experience is for all of us, I'm also going to say there is a silver lining of a blessing in this. And we cannot but to see the hand of God behind this event that has taken the whole world to take a pause and to take a breath and to really deeply reflect on the way we were first treating the planet. Diseases like this attacking ourselves sounds a lot like a cancer in a symbiotic organism that is planet Earth with us. We are the cells of this planet. It's also inviting us to reflect on how we're consuming. What is our economy based on? How are we treating each other? So it looks like a terrible event. It looks like a painful, and it is. And yet, I invite you to look deeper to the invitation that's coming through this pandemic for us to see what we can do better. And this new normal that is being used a lot to impose masks and impose tests and impose social programming, I invite you to rewrite the narrative of the new normal. The new normal is our opportunity to create heaven on earth. New normal looks like all of us in the planet living in peace, in harmony, in health, and learning to listen to each other. So take your responsibility in the creation of that new normal as well.
You know, yesterday, Layla, I was talking to a group of students who are like 12 to 18 years of age. And honestly, I was, as they were speaking to me, I was saying things like, this is actually like a heart-centered revolution, isn't it? It's like we're actually moving from the head into the heart. And we're looking at building businesses, not just because of the economic outcome or, you know, the financial outcome for the business, but we're all actually thinking about building organizations and enterprises that think deeply about making this planet more of a loving place to be in, more collaborative for all of us. You know, it's more about kindness than, you know, cunning. It's more about we than me. So there's a big shift in how, you know, just naturally we're thinking about every process, even of a business.
Yeah, yes. It's a revolution. Oh my God. And we get to be part of it and co-create. And I will add one layer more. You covered so deeply. We are also being invited to move from a centralized system where we are all little slaves of a top pyramid of someone we don't even know what their interests and agendas are, to a decentralized system where I, with my time, economy, and resources, I'm supporting my community on a local level. And then our community links with this community and this community. And one day my community can link with your community over there. And we can build in a way that no one is being manipulated by any top. And yet we are all feeding each other and having a synergy that supports the whole planet, which is impossible unless we embrace equality, inclusion, love, kindness, respect, and all the values of the feminine energy that is being awakened in this planet.
You know, so Layla, I'm so excited that we're going to co-create a Parent as Mentors training program with you. And I'm deeply excited by it because, you know, this is something that I've been through the school process, been trying to get parents to embrace, that parents need to be more, that, you know, I said coaches because in the tradition, in leadership coaching, you know, you ask more questions, you don't give the answers. But mentor, the word that you came up with is even better. It's, you know, that we're asking them questions, we're guiding them, and we're leading them to a more magnificent way of being and embracing their own sovereignty, as we spoke about in our interview. So I'm deeply excited. And if you could tell, you know, the parent audience a little bit about what, you know, the course will kind of be about.
Yes. Oh my God. So you parents, you get given this gift of God. You get, I mean, mamas, we are the doorway between spirit and humans. We are a doorway for God to become incarnated. And then that little thing is a responsibility, but it's also a gift. And so for us to enter the process of caring for that gift that God gave us from the perspective of absolute devotional reverence to what this being came here to do, rather than, and I know we do it with our best intention, but rather than imposing patterns, ideas, rules that anyways are proving themselves not to work. Just look at the world. So when Lena came to me and said, let's do this, my entire being said yes, because it's first and foremost what the world needs, for all of those little ones out there to have the opportunity to become the gift that they came here with, for God to fully actualize itself through us. But also because it's going to be so much more easy for all of you when you let God do itself, when you let the kid express its natural, authentic essence. That is life perpetuating itself, is coded on the DNA of this little one. You don't have to sweat it. The reason why it's so hard to educate our kids is because we're trying to impose things that don't work, that go against life, and life rebels. No wonder. Life is intelligent in itself. So what Lena and I are going to help you understand, and AR in this with this course, is how can you let life in your kids blossom? And all you gotta do, it's little steward here, little here and there to make sure the little thing is safe and it goes as far as it needs to. And so you can chill and enjoy life, because life shouldn't end when we have kids, right? I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
That's awesome, Layla. And we love the way you said that it is not coaching, but it is mentoring. When you use the word coaching, it connects to something related to sports. But when you spoke about mentoring, that is absolutely guiding somebody to get into a better light.
Yeah.
So can you share that with the audience, the difference between a coach and a mentor?
Yeah. Well, I'm putting myself in the place of the mom, right? And I'm imagining, do I want to be a coach? Like screaming, come on, you can do it. No. I want to be a mentor. The mentor is welcome in the house. It's listened to. There's a reverence to the mentor. There is a wise woman or wise man position. It's almost like a pre-eldership that happens, right? And in ancient traditions, the relationship between the mentor and the apprentice was a sacred relationship. I mean, India knows about this well. They have taught us, actually, that reverence. And that's the way I want our kids to look at us. And so we need to deserve it.
So, Layla, there is a question from the audience, Hisham Habib, and he's asking, Layla, due to COVID and the current situation, I've become extremely nervous and paranoid, and I've stopped going out due to it. I'm scared. Could you maybe help me or just give me some tips to deal with it?
Yes. Hisham, that's how I pronounce the name?
Yeah, Hisham, that's right.
My dear, thank you so much for having the courage and the vulnerability to express that. And like you, millions upon millions in the world, I'm going to give you the most clear and practical and answer that I can. The more you allow narratives of fear into your conscious mind, the more your brain produces prolactin, adrenaline, and other chemicals that you don't need to know the names, that are making your body feel more fearful. So you have more fearful thoughts, so you produce more fearful chemicals. And by the end of this process, your body will stop working optimally. So I ask you, please unplug yourself from the narrative of fear right now. Plug yourself in channels like the one these two amazing human beings have created. Consume information that is uplifting. And within 3 days, you're going to feel the chemistry of your body shifting. If you pair that with eating super good food, going out into the sun and breathing deeply without a mask in front of your face.
Yes.
Make sure there is 20 meters around you. There is social distancing, respect of the rules, but go into nature and breathe. If you pair this, your mind consuming the right information, your body consuming the right food and the right air, your life is going to shift in less than a week. I promise.
Wow. So, Layla, how can we awaken the magnificence of who each one of us is to create a collective, abundant future? So how can we absolutely awaken the magnificence?
Well, I have really good news for everyone in the house because we are already doing it. Just by being here, just by listening to what we are sharing with you, just by having the self-awareness that it takes to plug in a channel like this, you're well on your way. Now, first, tap yourself on the shoulder because wow, yeah, it takes courage. It takes courage to jump into the revolution. So continue this journey. You are a human being that exists in 3 levels of awareness. Well, 4. The first one is mental, and we're feeding it right now. Continue feeding this level with information like this. Unplug from the news. I am a journalist by degree. I know how news are made. I know who pays for the news, and I know why news are telling you the story they are telling you. This is a conversation for another day, but not a very short amount of it is true, let's just say that. Feed your mind with the right information. Feed your body and your emotions with the right nourishment.
Yes.
And the 4th, mind, body, emotion, the 3 levels, the 4th level is the spiritual level. And I know that your nation, your culture is a highly spiritual culture. Please do not drop your spiritual practice. No matter if it's coming under the veil of Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, it doesn't matter. Remember your connection with God, because it's through that channel that your magnificence is going to download like an email on your laptop. Cling, and you click open. It's through tapping into something that is greater than ourselves that we can tap into magnificence. If I am just trying to survive, if I'm just thinking what is the best plan to fulfill my bank account, my ego, my vanity, whatever is me, it's a small version that's going to come online. Yes. The moment I release, I get out of the way, and I know that I'm part of a way bigger picture, then a way bigger gift can pour through me and make it into the world.
So, Layla, while I don't count myself as Hindu, Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, I would still say I'm deeply spiritual. For me, the universe is possibly my spiritual source of energy, of thoughts, of emotional states. So that's just as powerful as going to any other spiritual source. Would you say so?
Yes. So I'm the daughter of a Christian mother and a Muslim father. And they taught us both books. Like, we will have 1 week read the Quran, 1 week read the Bible. We celebrated both. But they also educated us in Buddhism and Hinduism. They gave us both because my father had traveled to India and did meditation. And so we grew up learning all of these beautiful tales that help us connect with spirit. And at the same time, we always knew that spirit is always present. So I personally have a spiritual practice that is non-dogmatic. I don't subscribe to any religion. I find my guidance in nature. I talk with God in every sunset. I connect with spirit in every breath. And at the same time, I can fully enjoy the ceremonies of the Balinese people, join my brothers and sisters praying on the mosque, celebrate Christmas with my mama. I mean, it's all just different stories for the same very, very basic and primal relationship, which is God with itself incarnated in us.
Oh, Layla, you really are my sister.
I know. Takes one to see one.
So, Layla, I connect so well with what you just said because I'm born to a Christian father and a Hindu mother. So I connected so well with the way you explained about how your background has been and how you're living your life. That's so awesome. There is a question from the audience, Layla. It's a gentleman called Sandeep Pote, and he says, Layla, how do you keep yourself positive and focused?
I can't help it. This is the natural state of human beings. When you shift the level of your presence that we have spoken about, who are you giving your most valuable asset, which is your attention and your awareness? And what are you allowing yourself to be fed with? Your natural state is positive and focused. It's like effortless, effortless. If you're a woman, and this you will learn in the program that I am sharing with you through my website, Radiance. If you're a woman, you have cycles that go through the different states of emotion, and you can experience them all fully. And still, even in the sadness, there is a joy. There is Rumi's poems when he was in sadness are gifts for the world. Even when you visit anger, anger is such a gift. Anger is what moves the jaguar to perpetuate life by killing the prey, just the prey that is needed to feed the family. Anger is here to help us set everything back into right relation, in alignment, right? That Durga energy that sets us back. All the emotions have that positive component to them when you're fully present in them, and you have removed yourself from all the stories and the mental chatter and the fears and all of that doesn't even belong to us anyways. It's not natural.
Wow.
Fantastic. Fantastic, Layla. So, Layla, what values do we need as individuals and as a collective to create a new and awakened reality? What are the values?
Well, the first one we've spoken about it is presence, 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 presence. I have created in the last decade a practice that I've called presence, that you will also see on my website, that we are teaching all around the world as we get invited. That will be part of the online training I'm creating with you guys as well. And that brings your body into presence in a series of very simple movements. So presence is the first value. The moment we are present, everything we have access to comes alive. The second, I will say, please just tap into the molecule that keeps the world together, which is love. Just love. Love it all. Love yourself. Love thy neighbor. Love your anger. Love the sweat on your shirt when you're in front of a beautiful audience. Love it all. There's a practice of learning how to love what arises, love what comes, and just live in that sweetness of love. So presence, love, and I will say, because of the part of the process we are in, because of the time that we are entering as a civilization, learn compassion. I think India is a country that knows very deeply about compassion. You have a powerful, powerful tradition of compassion, compassionate hearts. We in the West have learned compassion from some of your teachers and masters and saints. So let us train the muscle of compassion, because we are going to need a whole lot of it for ourselves and our brothers and sisters as we transition in this awakening.
You know, it's beautiful because last week we didn't get the journal out, and we've got the journal out for the last week's session, which was on values. So it's beautiful that you've just spoken about values, because people can now think really deeply. Otherwise, we tend to, when we select values and things like that, we tend to only process it from the mentals, the cognitive state. And your answer will allow them to go deeper into the heart and the spirit, and answer and actually select their values from that deeper sense of presence.
I love it. And make sure that every value you take it beyond the cognitive level. Yeah, I understand what love is, but how does love feel? I understand what presence is, but how does presence feel? Walking presence, cooking presence, speaking presence, communicating love. Like, bring them into the flesh and bone of your experience.
Can you quickly, Layla, just, because in the interview I did with you, I loved it, and I've forgotten the exact phrase, but take it out of your, the whole understanding of the mind-body connection, and how we actually, if you could just, because that was amazing.
Yes, so as human beings, here and now, experiential beings. We are having a constant experience. And this experience, I like to paint it as a building. And it has 4 major levels. And the first level, in the engine where the things are happening and the motor is running, that's our body. That's where we need to tend with food, with water, with health, with good earth. It's the engine. As we go into the first level, we have what the world perceives of us. It will be like the front of the shop with the mannequins displaying, and those are your emotions, and they change. The seasons change, the colors change, and they change based on what's going on down there on the motor. By the way, if you give the motor good food, you're going to have good display of emotions. As you continue going up, now you're going to the CEO level of that business, of that story business building, where the decisions are being made, and that is your mind. Now your mind seems to be like the CEO believes he's the most important part of the building, but it's actually not, because if there is no good job being done there on the engine, on the body, there is not going to be enough neurochemistry for the CEO to make the right decision.
Yes,
so we can let it believe that he is the boss, but we know what's happening down there and what's happening in the emotion. So first is the body and the emotion, so that the mind can actually be on a proper state. Now, the fourth one, I don't even have to talk about it with you, because you know better than anybody, is the spiritual level. And this is all around everything changes and your emotion change.
So, Layla, there was a slight technology hitch. We will take this as a last question for the day, Layla. People are loving your thoughts and the way you're expressing yourself. There is a gentleman by the name of Amol Patil who has asked a question of how to keep consciousness alive through the day in different situations and amongst different people. If you have heard my question, or you can also read it on the screen. I guess there is some lag in technology. Yeah. There is a lag in technology. Do you want me to repeat that question again, Layla?
No, I hear you everything. In my ends, it's all good. So go ahead and respond. Let me know if you stop hearing me. So, Amol, how to keep consciousness alive through the day.
Yes.
No, she's okay.
Okay. So, yeah, Lena, go ahead.
So anyway, we're out of time. So I think Spirit spoke through that it's time to.
Am I online? Am I on the air? Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah. You're there.
Did you hear my sentence, or shall I repeat?
No, please repeat that.
Okay. So we have been playing the game of being unconscious human beings. And now we are invited to play the game of being conscious human beings. So it is like taking on a new diet. The first few weeks is difficult. You really want to go back to eating cookies. But as soon as your body detoxes from the sugar, you actually just want to eat good food. Your body is going to ask you for salads. This is the same. You have been trained to give away your presence, to not be conscious. So you're going to default back to that. But I bet you, if you start tonight, you will remember my voice in your head several times a day. Otherwise, buy a piece of jewelry, put an alarm on your phone, make yourself a tattoo. I have so many clients that have tattooed themselves on the arm, different beautiful symbols, to remind yourself to become present, to become conscious. And soon enough, it takes 21 days to shift a habit. In 21 days, you could change from being an unconscious human being, which is a half human being, to be a conscious creator of your reality. And then let the party start.
Wow, that was awesome, Layla. People have enjoyed your thoughts and the way you have expressed yourself. Sandeep Pote says, Layla, you and your thoughts are just awesome. So thank you so much. Our Corroboree, the audience has really enjoyed what you have shared, and we just loved the way you expressed yourself. Thank you so much, Layla. So Lena, what are we discussing on next Sunday?
Oh, everything seems after Layla. So Agnelorajesh, we've discussed goals, needs, and values. Next Sunday, we'll be talking about habits. So your life is essentially the sum of your habits, right? As Layla said, you can have the habit of eating the cookie or the nourishing food. So what we repeatedly do, our habits ultimately forms the person we become. the things that we believe and the personality we portray. So we'll be exploring next Sunday existing habits that make us who we are, and explore how we may form new habits to become the person we want to be. So we'll be discussing the science of habits.
Wow, fantastic. So friends, I too look forward to seeing all of you next Sunday, the 4th of October, when Lena and I get into a conversation on habits, how we form them, how we may change the ones that may not be serving us to help us create the best version of ourselves. So see you then on next Sunday. And before I conclude, Layla, thank you so much. You're just outstanding and awesome. Thank you so, so much.
I love you deeply, Layla, and I'm so looking forward to creating the course with you.
Thank you so much, both of you, for having me here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.